Hello and welcome to my brand new side LP. As promised, it's going to be Spider-Man Web of Shadows for the DS. And yeah, I'm excited to be doing this game. Just so you know, I am recording two screens. I probably didn't need to, it just felt a lot easier to do that. It just made sense. And there's a cutscene at the beginning, so I'm going to shut up.
You can't spell trouble without Venom. Actually, I guess you can. They do have two letters in common. When the City So Nice They Named It Twice was suddenly overrun by a bazillion Venom lookalikes, I knew I needed to track down Mr. Too Many Teeth, just as soon as I could get away from those nasty balls of goo. It didn't make any sense. Since when was Venom able to make other symbiotes? The guy inside the Venom suit, Eddie Brock, he had some questions to answer.
So yeah, the reason I shut up for the cutscene because that's like the first out of maybe two in this whole game. And yeah, straight away I want you, just so you know, if you go up there where I just skipped past, you can skip this whole tutorial, but I'm going to be doing it to show. It's quite big. The tutorial is quite long, but it's really not too bad. It kind of lets you know about everything, although I'm going to explain it anyway. Yeah, so obviously we have jumping, and you can move like any else game, and that's the Wilhelm screen, obviously. So yeah, press Y to attack, and you tap Y, you do combos. It's that easy. When you defeat an enemy, it drops purple balls, which is experience, and you can use that to buy upgrades. Not too difficult, really. The controls are pretty solid in this game. I enjoy them. So yeah, if you just go up there, you can skip this whole tutorial bit, but it is quite a section of the game, and it does teach you the mechanics, and it saves me explaining every single bit of detail, really. I mean, as you can see, there's, you know, certain stuff you can do. And yeah, one of the big features in this game, which was in Spider-Man 3, I think, is that if you press a button, you can change into Venom version of Spider-Man. I don't honestly know that much about the Spider-Man universe, or not a lot, you know. For someone on the internet, I don't know a lot about the Spider-Man universe, but I've seen Spider-Man 3, and I thought that was not good, but... So yeah, that's pretty much the whole tutorial right there. I said it was quite long, but it felt long. I had to do it a few times. And the first thing they make you do is buy launching uppercut, which is a really good move and it's really, really helpful. So yeah, to explain this game, this is kind of what people have explained it as is a Metroid sort of game, which I agree with, and it's very cool in that way. Pretty much you have one big map, and at the beginning it doesn't really feel like that, it feels like you're just going through levels. But yeah, as you can see on the bottom there's a map screen, and you can go to any point in the map at any time. Well, that's not true. Once you unlock certain powers, you can go to different places in the map, so that's how the story advances, that you can go to different places now that you've got this new power. So the first thing we have to do is head towards, well, we're trying to find Venom, because Venom has taken over the city, and we're going to attempt to pack it in, because that's not cool. You can't go take over a city and expect a mutant Spider-Man not to show up and kick your ass. So yeah, the thing about this game is the controls are pretty cool. It's very what you would expect Spider-Man would do, and that's the main problem that a lot of games lack in terms of Spider-Man games. That they don't feel like Spider-Man games. You're not doing what you want to do as Spider-Man. Obviously, you have to beat up bad guys, but I mean, you know, you also want to do some web swinging. You want to climb some walls, and some games kind of forget about that. That just being Spider-Man is cool enough, you don't have to add in all these stupid gimmicks. So as you can see, you can swing from certain places, although you can't just swing from the sky like in the old like PlayStation games, I think. Yeah, I think the like Spider-Man 2 on the PS1, you could just swing from space. Yeah, as you can see, that red thing is something that we can't destroy yet, so once we unlock that power, we can explore that area, which is very cool. It's very cool. I really like the way they've done it. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I decided to show the bottom screen, to show the map and just to show exactly where I am at any given point. So if I grab a collectible or something like that, you know what area to go to. So if you're using this as a guide, you're not going to wander around for ages thinking, where the hell was he? You know, you're going to know where I am. And yeah, that's one thing. I probably won't go for 100%. I'm gonna go damn close though. I'm gonna try and get to as close as all the collectibles as I can, but I know there's no guides in this game, so pretty much anything. Yeah, there's no guides online for this DS game. I looked because I wanted to show 100%, but
Oh, good.
so yeah, I'm gonna try and just do it as you know, as many collectibles as I can, and just show you all the ones I came across and all the ones I found. And as you can see, there's a collectible there. And that's another way that this game is similar to Metroid, is that first of all there's save points in the map, and also as you're exploring you're going to find collectibles and use upgrades to get collectibles, which is very cool. It works really well. It actually suits Spider-Man a lot better than you would think it was. So here we are at the first boss, which is quite funny. The way they do the bosses is that they're bosses at the beginning, but later on in the game they're just standard enemies. So yeah, we have to defeat this massive fat guy that I actually have trouble with in the beginning. So what my tactic would be, you don't know too many moves at this point, so just web him like this, go up to him, punch him. Once you do that double kick, press Y and up to do the uppercut and you'll launch him into the air. And then yeah, you can do a lot of damage. Yeah, really not too hard. I mean, this is just to get used to the kind of the combat and how you're going to be fighting enemies. But it's embarrassing how little damage you do to this thing. Which is another cool thing in this game. You do feel like you've progressed and got stronger with all the collectibles, which a lot of games will just like give you a collectible just so you can progress, but you don't actually feel like your character's, you know, got stronger in any way. But you actually do in this game.
I didn't have to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's right, Spider-Man. You didn't even have to go to the gym because you're a mutant. So yeah, that's the first power we unlock for doing the first boss. You can now pick up fridges. Apparently, you know, Spider-Man couldn't do that before, but now he can because he beat up a fat blue blob guy. Oh. So yeah, Venom's not there. This whole story's pretty much trying to find Venom. It's not all about Venom, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing here for a lot of it. So yeah, and these crates contain health, and as you can see our health is tiny and embarrassing at the moment. So we're going to have to upgrade that soon. And yeah, one of the main mechanics in this game, as you can see here, the door will get like covered in venom goo or whatever, and we have to defeat all the enemies before we can progress, which becomes a lot harder later on. Because this game becomes quite hard, like at the beginning, especially like you don't really know all the combos, you don't have many of the combos, so you're kind of trying to manage with what you've got, and when you're being surrounded by multiple enemies it can get a bit tricky, but really it's not too bad. You know, it's the beginning of the game, you're not going to die and mess up too often. Stupid birds. Oh, don't take that, woman, give it back, what are you doing? Yeah, we can come here now. As you can see, you don't, at this beginning point, you don't really feel like you're a part of this big map. Oh yeah, first collectible, or hidden one really, is right there, so be sure to grab that. And also, you can't go up here. You could actually see a collectible, you just saw the health collectible right there. We can't grab that until we learn another new move, which we won't for quite a while.
Spidey, what an amazing smell.
So yeah, this is the another area of the sewers, which is kind of cool. In this game, it's divided by 4 areas. Then, yeah, it's divided in 4 areas that you unlock the map for and stuff like that. You know. Again, similar to Metroid, like how you have Bryn Star in Metroid and stuff like that. You know, you actually have different areas in Spider-Man. So it's very cool. It's a rip-off, but it's cool and it works. One thing, the combat, as I mentioned, I like the combat. I think the combat works really well. That's another problem that Spider-Man games have kind of had. Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 and Xbox and GameCube is easily the best Spider-Man game. And even that game the combat wasn't good. Like, there was a couple of cool things you could do, but you got given so many different combos. I mean, really, if you just you can just beat up any enemies. Like, the combat wasn't bad, it just wasn't amazing. It was just not as good as a lot of other games. Even though Spider-Man can do all these cool stuff, like swinging people and all that, but for some reason it always results in just button mashing. Well, it's true for this point in the game, but later on when you learn more combos and stuff like that, the combat gets really good. I think this is probably It's probably the best combat in a Spider-Man game, this one. So yeah, why I decided to do this was because, I think I mentioned this in my update video. I realised like there was all these Spider-Man games on DS, and I thought, well, usually tie-in stuff isn't that great. But I read some reviews, and apparently this is a good game. Apparently these games are good games. So I thought, I don't know, they might be. So I played Ultimate Spider-Man on the DS, didn't really like it, and then I played this game and realised like, yeah, they're right, the structure's really cool, the combat works, the graphics are nice. It's a really good game. And then I realised nobody had LP'd it. I think there's a walkthrough of this game online, but no one had LP'd it, and it was kind of sad that no one had LP'd this game. Just because some of the other Spider-Man DS games are bad. I think there's 6, you know, there's Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Ultimate Spider-Man, Friend or Foe, Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions, and Battle of NY. So yeah, there's 7 Spider-Man DS games, so it's understandable why you would kind of miss out on one. But yeah, I would say definitely play this game. It's fun. So that's one of the reasons I'm LPing it, that it's fun and people, you know, should check it out. I'm hoping that people watch this and think, yeah, I'll go play that. Even if it's on an emulator, which I am actually playing it on. And just for the record, if I seem to do something stupid in combat, it's because occasionally I get this kind of lag on my emulator. Like when it kind of gets a bit more frantic, I get lag. So. And then this is one of the more... This fight can be tricky because it introduces Venom dogs. I have no idea why they're there. I don't know why they are Venom dogs. That doesn't make any sense to this guy, but whatever. And yeah, the problem with them is that they won't stop. Like if once they charge at you, you gotta get out the way, or you move or lose it, I guess. But yeah, you either gotta get out the way or web them. I think you can web them and it will still do. It will stop them. So. And yeah, as you can see, this is a smaller version of the boss, although it might actually be the same size. I don't think it is. No, it's definitely not. But yeah, he seems to have the same amount of health. Really hard to take down, actually. But the dogs are the things that are going to get in your way. The flying bats, you can just swing and hit them mid-air. And then these guys, they take a few hits, but they're not really too tricky. Oh, but the damn dogs, man. And the fact, the dogs are the worst enemies, easily, I think. Although the dogs actually do get upgraded later, so yeah, that's going to be fun. So yeah, you're going to be doing this a lot. I don't know how you guys feel about defeating enemies to get, you know, past a room. But I mean, it does kind of make sense in this game. Because you're Spider-Man, you can swing. You know, you can just swing about and dodge enemies' attacks and not have to fight people, but... So yeah, it does kind of... I think it makes sense in this game. Most people will say, oh, it's kind of cheap and lazy, but, you know, that you have to kill all the enemies before you can progress, but otherwise you wouldn't fight enemies, really. You would just skip over them. So, I think it works. I think it works. So we're going to finish off this guy, hopefully soon. They're quite tough. I'm using the same tactic on him as I did on the boss, because they're pretty much the same enemy. Yeah, that's another reason I recorded both screens, because you can see the subtitles. So if I'm talking over them, it's not going to hinder it. So yeah, this is the end of the first part. I'm going to grab this collectible, and I hope you stay tuned to watch the other part. So it's been Unsung23, goodbye, subscribe.